Is it somebody I don't my call? This is the moment you're meant to know.
There, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to do a continuation off of what Mama Crone had did. She did a reading on Cardi B, and now I will be doing a reading on Stefon Diggs. Because man, what is going on with Stefon Diggs? Not only did we not know that he was out here a playa clout chaser, but we see that now he might have violent tendencies. Not to talk about the fact that already during Christmas time, everybody was talking about why is Stefon Diggs spending time with his other baby mamas, but he not around with Cardi B and stuff like that. And everybody was clowning Cardi B for that. And they were just like, what's Stefon Diggs doing with with everybody else and neglecting his newest born child, right? It completely makes sense, but I digress. Still, people are just like looking at their dynamic, judging it. Stefon Diggs is being judged with a fine tooth comb, a microscope, however you want to say it. Like he is being watched, okay, and because of that, the allegations just keep on coming. Let's not forget about the one allegation that seems to always be swept underneath the rug that Stefon Diggs might be on the DL, but we don't have any evidence out here yet to prove that because there's too many women out here that he's dealing with, like this other woman who is a private chef that he had hired and allegedly strangled, chokehold, was violent with, and now he has felony charges against him that were filed on December 22nd. Was it? Let me double check. Yes, they were filed on December 22nd, so just before Christmas. Stefon Diggs ended his new year, ended off 2025 with a hell of a good time, didn't he? But yeah, that's the thing that's going on. This incident allegedly happened earlier in December. Took her supposedly 20 days exactly, because on December 2nd this happened, but on December 22nd she files a report and now it's a felony charge. And I'm pretty sure we've also heard some other allegations that Stefon Diggs might be a woman beater too. So, it's just not looking good for Stefon Diggs out here. And somebody, please tell me. Every time I Google Stefon Diggs, there's some like weird, like mystery injury that he's like on the bench, but off the bench at the same time. Can somebody please explain that to me down in the comments? Because it's just the Patriots talk about it. And that's who he plays for. Yeah, when I Google what injury does Stefon Diggs have, they talk about an injury from like years ago. So I'm like, okay, that can't be affecting how he's playing now. Like, why would we need like an injury update, right? So I don't know. I'm a bit confused about that, but that also made me a bit curious when I found out that he allegedly around the same time or shortly after he had his injury, he got with Cardi B. So, sometimes you gotta think, are these things like money grabs? Is he like seeing Cardi B as a cash cow? Like, I don't know. He's an NFL player after all, and those careers are short-lived, especially if you have some sort of injury that causes you to get out the game, and now you're an ex NFL player and that money not going to be flowing in like it used to be. So because of that, he got to start thinking ahead in the future. He got all these baby mamas that he got to pay back, but he won't stop having these babies. But yeah, yes. So, you just got to think about it. Now he gets Cardi B. He finally gets Cardi B. This is baby Crone / Lady Crone, new Lady Crone / Lady L. Mama Crone and I solidified Lady L. So this is what Lady L's opinion, I hypothesis, and conspiracy is. And now only just seems right to just put it all out there before I get to the reading. So you guys know exactly where I stand with Stefon Diggs, because now I got a huge question mark on him and wondering if he truly could be using Cardi B as some sort of way to ensure that he got that ka-chang coming in. Not saying that he has married her, but if he keeps going the way he's going, minus these allegations, but if he keep loving Cardi B the way he needs to keep loving her, who knows? Because he did get Cardi B, which she was in a hurt position. But I'm just saying that's just me speculating. But I don't want to look at Stefon Diggs as a dog out here in the street. So because of that, we're going to pull some cards and see exactly what's going on with Stefon Diggs. How is he coping with this allegation? Did he do it? Did he not? Is he violent? Well, let's find out. The cards will tell. Because he's still playing. And Cardi B's still standing by her man. So, I don't know. Everybody keep it moving like Stefon Diggs might be innocent. But hey, let's see what the cards say. I'm just checking in on Stefon Diggs and this whole allegation that he's got going on with him against this private chef. I like that. We got the High Priestess. Okay, I really like that. It's going to keep me guessing. Let's figure out what's behind this High Priestess. The Four of Cups. Okay. Interesting. What preceded this High Priestess? The Ten of Wands. What is above? What comes after the High Priestess? The future. The Queen of Pentacles. Ooh. Okay, I like that. All right, let's see what's in the past. Six of Wands. Chariot. Okay, in the future. We have the King of Cups and the Emperor. I'm liking the cards that are coming out here, especially because one more card. Let's see what the block is for all of this energy, because we definitely need that. The Knight of Wands. Okay, interesting. As I figured, either swords or wands was going to dominate. The only reason why I say that is because they would be the more aggressiver of the elements. But here, what I see in the past was the Six of Wands. But the Six of Wands seems to be traveling away. And the Six of Wands is paired with the Ten of Wands, which is not a good card. And then we have the Chariot, which is in the past. But this is the past in the past. But the past moving forward. So we can see that here, whatever has haunted Stefon Diggs in the past, literally and metaphorically is going to be coming around like the Chariot and hold him back and prevent him from moving forward. However, we see here, looking in the present moment, Stefon Diggs is the High Priestess. Right now, everything that's going on with him, everything that he's got going on in his life, it's like there's some sort of shadow side of himself that he needs to deal with, or that he's in the process of dealing with. But we'll see, because right here above in his head is the Nine of Wands. And this is a very fitting card to have in the head section. And I could definitely see how this High Priestess would have him in the Nine of Wands. Because as you see, this is somebody in turmoil, somebody that has sleepless, restless nights, somebody that's stressed out, somebody that's haunted by their demons. Those, those negative things that are coming up against like Stefon Diggs is wearing on him mentally and psychologically. In this case, it's just adding on to that. And because it's something that has happened in the past, and it's something that he thought he was going to get away with, or something that he thought maybe he could have like paid her off and be like, shoo, bye-bye. And then she came back around, was just like, no, you're not going to silence me. You're not going to get rid of me like that. You're going to hear me roar. And I only say roar because we see fire elements, and the block card is the Knight of Wands, the fastest moving knight of the deck. So yes, I was just like, okay, it took her 20 days. Yeah. But at least she was faster than what most people would have usually done for cases like that. So she was expedited. So because of that, there's some flame, there's something behind this that she feels like I have to act now rather than later in order to like be taken seriously in the courts, especially because of everything that's been going on with Diddy and the whole Cassie situations, me too, him too kind of thing. You're just like, who stories are we going to start believing these days? And people are always, and the thing that people always wait in the end is why later? Is like, why didn't you do it then? So because of that, that's exactly why she's taking action now with the Knight of Wands and coming in um like a blazing trail of fire. And the only reason why I say that is because here in the past for Stefon Diggs, we have the 10 of Wands, which is somebody who is carrying a burden, something that is weighing him down, but it's somebody that's trying to be a provider because the man had to go out to get the wood. And as you see, he's walking back to his house, a private chef that was working for him. So because of that, him as the person who's stressed out, high stress job, you know how things go these days. And because of that, something could have overtaken him. Maybe he was a little bit angry that day and took out his stress and frustrations out on the staff, not making excuses for anybody. But as I said, back in the past, the Six of Wands makes so much sense. Six of Wands meaning somebody who thought they were overcoming this challenge, that it wasn't going to come back and bite them. And that's exactly why the Six of Wands is facing outwards. Like that was in the past, not even thinking about it, dead and gone, right? But here we go, the Chariot going like, yeah, making its way back around. Just like, no, actually think again. And the Chariot also has to be riding, is like sort of like a knight in the sense because it is a person riding a horse. So just as I said, this case, there seems to be some validity behind the temperament of what happened. How true it is and how what exactly happened was not quite sure, but was there some sort of escalation in tension and physicality? Most certainly. And that is exactly why it's got Stefon Diggs stressing in his hip this Nine of Wands energy. Allegedly. Everything I say is allegedly. I know I get a little bit too engrossed into the cards, but that's just what the cards are saying to me. But don't worry, it looks a bit more brighter for Stefon's future. And down at the bottom, we see here is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups usually symbolizes somebody who isn't going to be accepting anything. And exactly what I see here with Stefon Diggs is he is the foundation. That's a really good question, because in this picture there's a mermaid. We always know mermaids are a figment of your imagination and don't really exist. However, at the same time, it's not like she's offering it to him. It's just like a slight full suggestion. So I'm just like, it's not like he's so, but he's a bit stubborn with it. And I could honestly see that with a little bit of Stefon Diggs energy. Isn't he like a Taurus or something like that? Let me double check. Whatever he is, I feel like he's a sign that could be sturdy. Oh, a Sagittarius. Even better. Definitely sturdy for sure. And we see here with the Four of Cups. Hold up, guys. Sorry. I just really want to get this Four of Cups meaning. I like this exact line that's underlined. It says, bored with your life, that you've become blind to the gifts and opportunities sitting right in front of you. So what we see here with Stefon Diggs is that I like that. I'm gonna pull another card on that one. But what we see here with Stefon Diggs is that when it comes to his life and opportunities that has been handed to him because of his status, because of who he is. You know how celebrities get once they start becoming entitled. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know my name? Don't you know what I can do to you? I'm paying you. You work for me. You know, all those different things, those delusions, those high ideas that get you stuck in your way, thinking that you have some sort of authority, yet you're all just individuals, and money gives you that sense of delusion to feel as though you're on top of the world, which brings us exactly to his future, how he feels in his head, the King of Cups, which is honestly very fitting and a great evolution because from the Nine of Wands, the only way you could really go is the King of Cups because the Nine of Wands, you're struggling mentally and emotionally. That's only going to make you feel as though you are emotionally consumed because your mind is keeping you preoccupied by things that you're thinking about that are continuing to stress you out and making you feel those emotions. So therefore you're kind of like in that cyclic cycle. So therefore that's so in that sense I can see that he is in a spiral sense when it comes to this everything that he's got in his life. And that's exactly what the high priestess right here would symbolize, is somebody who it because that's the you only spiral in darkness when you're unsure, when you're unaware. But eventually that's going to lead you to a point where you want to get off the loop, off the hamster wheel, figure out the answers when you're tired or you're starting to feel sick or you're just getting sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So because of that, sometimes there needs to be a pile up or a dog pile in order for a eruptive emotions to come out. And we don't want that to happen, but sometimes that does happen. We see exactly Stefon Diggs is starting to reach that limit, especially now that he's with Cardi B and his whole life is on blast. Yeah, he's still trying to adjust to that. But we see here in the future is the Queen of Wands. And I wonder if that Queen of Wands is Cardi B here in the future. And we also have the Emperor. So whatever we see here, he's still going to stand strong on himself and who he is and as his principles. And the Emperor is also somebody who can also be very dominating and somebody who isn't going to just allow you to walk all over him or say anything about him or allow you to come for his empire maybe. So I'm getting more of a fact that Stefon Diggs is on the defense because that's exactly what that Queen of Wands was symbolized for Stefon Diggs, that the material gain that he has worked for, put the time and energy into. That's what feminine energy is all about, that nourishing energy. He nourished his NFL career and he's just like, I will be damned if I allow this allegation to be the thing that brings me down. So because of that, he's got himself on the defense emotionally because his ego, I'm starting to feel like, is being challenged. And that's exactly another card that the Emperor can symbolize too, is somebody who has a very strong ego, whether it's positive or negative. Let's just see what 3 cards symbolize for Stefon Diggs during this present moment. We have, I'm going to put that back. We'll put that to the side. We're just going to and flip that over. If I don't like this card, I'm reshuffling these cards. Okay, we have a mountain. We have a cat. Very interesting. And we have fear. And the only good thing at the very end is positive vibes. I knew that was going to have to find a way to fit its way in anyway. So what we see here right now is that Stefon Diggs is up against a mountain, up against a challenge. And like I said, a dog pile piling up Those are mountainous things that just start to just accumulate over time. And eventually it's things that you're going to have to start addressing. There were things that you put to the wayside, things that you're like, I'm not going to deal with, or things that you thought you overcome could bury with because you had the time, energy, and resources to deal with it then, yet it wasn't completely dealt with because it wasn't dealt with in a authentic way. And because of that, a little bit of, I don't want to say karma, but we see here is a cat, which symbolizes feminine energy. I'm holding it up like you guys can see it, which symbolizes feminine energy, which I saw for this Queen of Wands, and what I definitely see with Stefon Diggs. It makes me wonder and question if he just has some sort of challenges and blocks and fears surrounding feminine energy, because that's exactly what I'm starting to pick up. Because how do we have the cat in between a mountain and fear? A mountain is bad enough, but now we're compiled it with fear. And now what's in the middle of that, what's surrounding the eye of the storm, is feminine energy. And now I'm not saying if that's the feminine energy within Stefon Diggs, and that's why he keeps drawing himself towards women, but also he just doesn't treat women right, or if he has some sort of thing that he needs to work out in this life when now he treats and works with women. But we definitely see here that it's something that keeps coming up against him, that whenever he is trying to move forward in life, it's always going to be a woman that's going to always keep him from moving as forward as he wants to, because he has something that he has to work out with them. And there is some fear and some trepidation. I'm not sure how close he is with his mother and stuff like that. I'm not trying to dive that deep into like mommy issues and like family, childhood, growing up, raising family, like over feminine, less feminine, single parent, both parent household. Like I'm not trying to get that deep into Stefon Diggs' life, because all that probably plays in, because that just would have to be ingrained into him from a young age. But hey, all I know at the very end is good vibes. And good vibes symbolizes that, even though he has some challenges, even though he has his problems, even though he has his fear, and even though he might be like a little bit of scared of women because they intimidate him because of like the power they seem to like have over him, or the illusion and the idea and the power that he gives women mentally, thinking that they have power over him. And once you like start rearranging and thinking about things from a different way, you start realizing that A, nobody has no control over anybody, and then B, you realize that we're all on equal playing fields. And yeah, there's some power hierarchies here, but don't get ego tripping like an emperor just because you all hot stuff, because you an NFL player and what you come with, and because of all the goodies that you did, and because all the ladies just want you and drool over you and like cling to you, and you got so many babies and you're like germinating out here and stuff like that. I just like don't allow that to like get to your head and think that you're just above everybody else, and that basically you can run and control women. That's basically the idea that I'm picking up from Stefon Diggs. Now, I'll get back to the card. Let's just pull it out. Let's just pull it out for fun. For fun. Let's just see. Does Stefon Diggs have authority issues with women? Let's find that out, because that's a very astrology-asked question, because you could easily find that out in a birth chart looking at the Saturn of either the placement of Saturn or Capricorn. So or the sun sometimes too. But let's just see, does Stefon Diggs have authority issues when it comes to women? We have the Tower, the Six of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. Well, that Tower just said it right off the beginning, is that it's coming down. Like I said, that ego trip, the Tower, the It's finally coming down. Even looking at the tower, it's a literal crown to represent the mental. Like I said, Stefon Diggs is mentally stressing out. His past keeps catching up to him. So because of that, and like I said, I wasn't being dramatic, but that was just the vibe that I was getting. It just seems as though women seems to be his issue. And even looking here in the cards, we see here the Page of Cups, a very young, feminine woman, a very, and the cups usually symbolize females. And I was talking about his childhood, but like I said, I'm still not trying to get into that. But hint, hint, I don't know. But then we see here in the center, right here, after the tower is the Six of Pentacles, and we see the Six of Pentacles is somebody that is looking like they are giving equally, but you don't know what their other hand is showing. You only see one hand, and that hand looks like it's giving equally to the children, looking equally giving and caring and nurturing, but you don't know what he's stashing out behind. So because of that, we don't know what Stefon Diggs got up his sleeve and what he has against women that seems to be coming up and reoccurring in his life. Is something deep rooted and seated within him. And we can see that from the very beginning with this high priestess, that this is something within himself that he's going to have to deal with and address. But I digress. Everything I say is allegedly, as it runs down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. It was very good. It was very juicy. I don't think my opinion got too much into that because but like I said, we'll all see. January 26th, we'll be keeping our eyes open over here for what's going to happen for Stefon Diggs during this trial. Let's just pull one card right here in the middle. Oh, okay. The bottom. We'll pull at the bottom. I'm not sure what just flashed at you guys, but what was here at the bottom that's going to symbolize his trial is the Queen of Wands. How fitting. We'll see how that goes. That's another feminine energy. And I already said this woman is coming in aggressively because I was expecting to see either a dominance of fire, which is wands, and what comes up, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands going up against the Queen of Pentacles that has the King and the King of Cups and the Emperor. So the King of Cups can already try to outweigh the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups is backed up by the Queen of Pentacles, but the Emperor is all there, got control over all of it because it's his domain. So I don't know. I'm not sure if Stefon Diggs played women against women, and that's what comes back up and bites him against in the butt. But hey, those are all the things that I'm picking up looking at how all these cards are interacting with each other. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. Please leave your comments down below. Did you enjoy this reading about Stefon Diggs? We'll really have to see how this all plays out. It's all based on how much this woman can sell her story to the jury, or to the judge. So with that being said, please leave your comments down below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't given it a thumbs up already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. Hype this video up too if you enjoyed this content. Hype it up. That gets us even further into the algorithm after you liked it and subscribed if you haven't subscribed already. Once you do all of those things, and share, most importantly, a hype and a share and a like. Those are 3 things you can do if you haven't subscribed already. That would really help get our video out there into the algorithm. But hey, commenting too also does that as well. And I will see you, sunflowers, in the next one. Sunflowers, go check out Mama Crones reading on Cardi B.